Hello, friends. Education is a sensitive topic. It's like everyone else is affected by education, either as a student who is going to school or as a parent who is looking forward for the education of a child. Even in the country, education is core to the development of the country. Because of this centrality of education among issues pertaining to global development, many countries are trying to improve it. I'm going to tell you about education for sustainable development. We want to find out what teachers in Zimbabwe are saying about it. The competence-based curriculum is closely linked to education for sustainable development. Learners are assessed on their competencies on a continuum that includes knowledge, skills, abilities, values, and traits. You can see that there are many aspects to be assessed on the part of the students, and this is not possible to be assessed by one final examination, that is the summative examination, which is associated with many countries. Therefore, there is need for continuous assessment. In Zimbabwe, the competence-based curriculum has already been introduced at secondary school level. It is yet to be introduced at primary school level. Now, let's have the argument from the primary school teachers on what they say concerning introducing the competence-based curriculum at primary school level.
This presentation is being brought to you by Esfin Bazara and my co-presenter Flata Madamba. It shall be focusing on the advantages of using continuous assessment at grade 7 level, some areas of projects which can be focused on, as well as the ways of making them effective. The Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education in Zimbabwe is in the process of introducing continuous assessment at grade 7 level through its competence-based curriculum. In this, learners will be assessed on their competencies, which range from knowledge, skills, abilities, values, and traits. The 2015-22 curriculum framework of Zimbabwe emphasizes on the use of continuous assessment through the use of profiling by nurturing and recording the learner's abilities and competencies from infant level to grade 7 level. Some definitions of continuous assessment shall be given. And the first definition comes from Osokoya and Odingo, 2005, who defines continuous assessment as a method of finding out what students have gained from learning activities in terms of knowledge, thinking, reasoning, character development, and industry. Abejeo 2016 also defines continuous assessment as an ongoing process of gathering and interpreting information about student learning that is used in making decisions about what to teach and how all students have learned. In summary, we can say it involves formative assessment and summative assessment as well. In short, we can simply say continuous assessment can be defined as an integral part of instruction, a mechanism whereby the final grading of learners on the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains of learning is made. Continuous assessment has got a lot of advantages if it is used at grade 7 level. The first one is that it really improves the teaching and learning process. It also involves the learners in the assessment, hence it increases engagement of learners as well as fostering commitment on the part of learners. It also promotes frequent interactions between pupils and teachers that enable teachers to know the strengths and weaknesses of their learners as well as theirs, so as to identify which students really need review and remediation. Continuous assessment also minimizes anxiety, especially when writing the grade 7 exams, thus eliminating the occurrence of malpractices. It is also a more accurate method of measuring performance of learners with special needs. And this is supported by Abejo 2016, Bihan 2013, and Disalan 2014. Continuous assessment also helps to acquire the required knowledge in terms of skills and attitude. In addition, feedback on what and how learners learn is provided in time so as to modify and personalize instruction. And this will enable the teachers to help the learners who are lagging behind. Continuous assessment also motivates students who to work harder, and better student learning outcomes will be ensured through quality education. According to AREGA 2014, continuous assessment is a powerful instrument for enhancing attainment of learning outcomes to ensure quality education and academic excellence in the education institution. We can say it really improves academic achievement. More so, continuous assessment is guidance oriented. Continuous assessment is also important because it reduces the rate of failure since it constitutes the 30% of the final examination mark, as we can see from the English grade 7, English grade 3 to 7 syllabus, which says continuous assessment shall be constituting 30% of the final examination mark, so the rate of failure will be reduced. There are some areas of projects which can be focused on in the English language and literature at grade 7 level, and these include essay writing. And in essay writing, the learners can carry out a project on how they can build up an essay. If it's a descriptive one, for example, they can start from listing describing words, and then they will make some sentences using those descriptive words. Then they will set some expressions to describe the scene or event. Finally, the learners will make an introduction, a body, and then a conclusion. Storytelling can also be used as a form of project at grade 7 level through the use of pictures or images. And these pictures and images will be explained or written in essays through the steps which are done when people are writing essays, that is, starting from the introduction, the body, and then finally the conclusion. Another area of project which can be done at grade 7 level is comprehension. In comprehension, learners may start by reading the passage or the story, and then they will identify the new words. After identifying the new words, they will use the words in sentences, and then the learners will retell the story in their own words, then answer comprehension questions. When they are retelling when they are retelling the story in their own words, it will be some form of assessment which will be used by the teacher to check whether the learners have understood the comprehension. The learners can also formulate some questions from the passage. And by formulating questions from the passage, the learners will be also exercising their comprehension skills in terms of showing skills that they've understood the passage. Finally, the learners can write a summary, and this summary will enable the teacher to find out whether the learners have managed to understand the comprehension passage. Other areas of projects which can be focused on at grade 7 level are poems, reports, dramatization, and speeches. There are some ways of making use of these projects effective. The first one is that instilling a positive attitude towards the projects as a form of assessment to both the teachers and learners is also important, because without this positive attitude, the continuous assessment will not be done properly by the teachers as well as even the learners. There's also need for staff developing the teachers on how to supervise projects. Educating learners on how to carry out meaningful research and how to present projects is also important. In addition, educating the stakeholders like parents and school development committees is also important so that they can render their support for continuous assessment to be effective and to be successful. Provision of adequate resources in schools is also important because without adequate resources, continuous assessment will become ineffective. Finally, we can see there is also need for having some neutral examiners to mark the projects, unlike having them marked at cluster level, as was initially suggested. By doing this, bias will be eliminated. Support for teachers through motivation is also important, and it can be done through, for example, in form of providing human and material resources. There's also need for the reduction of teacher-pupil ratio, because teacher-pupil ratio also contributes a lot in terms of using continuous assessment as a way of assessing the learners. Because initially, the teachers are expected to teach pupils who are 1:40. That ratio seems to be very big for the teachers because continuous assessment needs a lot of work on the part of the teacher. It can be reduced, let's say, for example, to 1:20 for continuous assessment to be effective. There's also need for the inclusion of a module or a course on continuous assessment in the curriculum at all teachers' colleges. This will enable the teachers who have just completed their colleges to be fully equipped in terms of how to use continuous assessment at grade 7 level. There are some design principles for projects. These design principles of projects have been looked at by Fisher and Frey, and we can see that these design principles are very effective, and they include the formation of learning appropriate goals. Some essential questions should be presented to the student. For example, why are they really doing this project? There is also need for scaffolding on the part of the teacher and the students. By scaffolding, we are saying the students need to understand before sending them to do the projects. How can scaffolding be done? Through the use of modeling. The teacher can provide a model to the learners so that they can see an example of how to carry out that particular project. There's also need for frequent opportunities for formative assessment and revision. And this will enable checking for understanding while the projects are being done rather than to check when the projects are being turned in. In addition, some social organizations that promote participation and a sense of urgency is also needed. This will enable the teacher to choose whether to grade learners as a group or as an individual. Some effective techniques of using projects are as follows. The teachers can use reader theaters, multimedia presentation, electronic and paper portfolios, some visual displays of information, for example, graphic organizers, the use of foldables and dioramas, and this has been supported by Fisher and Frey, 2014. In conclusion, we can say, using continuous assessment at grade 7 level has a lot of advantages to the learner and the teacher. That is if it is treated with caution. Therefore, there is need to address all the problems associated with the implementation of continuous assessment in line with the demands of the curriculum for it to be effective. Thank you.